Greetings and welcome to TC Lifestyle Adventure, and today I'm going to be showing you just a little bits and pieces of the beloved Pacific Northwest. Right now I am looking at elk because I was on my way to seeing Mount Rainier, the tallest mountain in Washington, where just so happened to see these creatures that the passenger with me just requested for me to stop so we can both take a look. Alright, I have finally arrived to Mount Rainier National Park, which just so happens to be the immediate other side of the border of the Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest. To be honest, I've never seen anything like this before. Look, I'm literally that close to the edge without any fear, just happily stepping away some pictures. I must say, this is a very scenic spot. I was rather disappointed with the directions because I thought it was just one little spot here, one way back, but apparently it's a big helix of directions, so we're gonna have to move on to somewhere else right now. Right now, I'm at St. Edward State Park, a 326-acre park in Kenmore and Kirkland, Washington. This is part of the Washington State Park system. You know, before this became a Catholic seminary and later a state park, this area was logged in the 19th century and again in the 1920s. There's a series of trails that run through here for both hikers and bicyclists. The forest canopy is primarily made up of the coast Douglas fir, western red cedar, big leaf maple, Pacific madrone, and western hemlock. Its dense carpet includes many varieties of fern, shrub, and moss. It is flanked on the west by an undeveloped beach on Lake Washington, and the park surrounds the St. Thomas Center, which houses the Bastyr University. From the 1920s until 1977, the land on which St. Edward State Park sits was owned by the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Seattle. From 1931, it was developed and used for a seminary by the Supplicant Order. The St. Edward Seminary, opened in 1931, was designed by John Graham Sr., a renowned Seattle architect, and constructed in 8 months. Yeah, I've never really heard anything like all this all in one little location that also hosts a school. I don't know if it's accredited or not, so once I looked at all the scenery, there's the building right there. And yes, it's on the list. The National Register of Historic Places, and the same one for the state of Washington. It felt like kind of like a museum of some sort when I walked inside, so it was actually not bad. It was definitely a nice change of pace, and it was nice to see another angle, as you may say, of Lake Washington when I was on that property. So it was not bad at all. So let's keep on going with Bada Bang. Yep, as you can tell that I take my photography very seriously. One of the things I wish I did was start practicing manual mode with my camera over there, because it would have been perfect. Not only that, but learning how to edit my photos. I would have a whole lot more impressive photos just to share with y'all, but the way I'm looking at it now is more incentive for me to go back there and recreate those shots that I should have taken and have even better photos. And I cannot wait for that day to happen. Greetings from Greenwood Memorial Park in Renton, Washington, a suburb southeast of Seattle. This place is notable as the resting place of rock guitarist Jimi Hendrix from 1942 to 1970, who was a Seattle native. Over 14,000 fans visit this memorial annually. Also in turn here at Greenwood are professional football players Clancy Williams, 1942 to 1986, and Nesby Glasgow, 1957 to 2020. Rest in peace. Sorry I wasn't really talking, but I was trying to be respectful because this is a grave after all. So I was trying to honor my respects by remaining silent. But for those who are fans of this legendary artist, I highly recommend you come here if you actually truly want to pay your respects here. I also found out too late that around Seattle was the grave of Bruce Lee, along with his son. I really wanted to see that too, but all the more instead for me to come back. I can't help but think, but this kind of reminds me of something. Another fellow YouTuber, Jason and Gina, make sure you check them out. They recently went on a trip to Paisley Park because one of them is a die-hard fan of the late great Prince Rogers Nelson, and they went to his place of residence that became a museum following his passing, and what I saw on their video was very amazing. So I guess you could say right here of this memorial for Jimi Hendrix is a good comparison to that. I never saw Paisley Park, and I don't know if Jason and Gina, shout out to them, they're good people. I don't know if they even saw this either. But if they're in Jimi Hendrix, I should suggest to them, hey, come check this out. I mean, after all, there's purple. I know one half of that duo that loves that color thanks to Prince. Wink. Hey, do y'all remember this? For those that do not, this here is MV Plover, a historical ferry that is still in service in the state of Washington, more specifically in Blaine. For those that know, Blaine is at the northernmost border of Washington where it touches Surrey, British Columbia, which is in the Dominion of Canada. So I'm literally just right there at the Canadian border. But I wanted to look at this first because it was historic, so I could not help it. And boy, yep, that's either Surrey or Vancouver I'm looking at, and yes, I had the distinct opportunity of manning the helm of that historic ferry. And I wasted no time doing that. See, I'm the captain now. Mwahaha. Man, if only I would have thought of practicing manual mode here, because this would have been perfect. But I had to start somewhere. I still consider myself as an amateur photographer well on his way to becoming professional. I'm getting more proficient at it day by day. But here I was still in the novice state, because I still had it on automatic mode. It was a nice change of pace for me. Yes, I sound like a recording because I cannot stress that enough, but I just love to go exploring. And as you already know, I love the Pacific Northwest, so I'm always down to go explore each and every crevice of this glorious region. So this right here is Drayton Harbor, where the ferry, that's it, where it took me to. Totally worth it. And I was waiting for it to come back. I was watching people like just jump off of there and whatnot. And now we're back on the open water, because they gotta let some other people get the opportunity of steering it like I did. So I'm not complaining, because I'm getting what I pay for by getting more content on this boat. So it was a win-win for both of us, you know? And yes, I would so do this again in a heartbeat. I mean, the historian in me cannot say no being part of something historic. I just cannot help it. What, you thought I wasn't gonna go to the US-Canada border and not look at it? Please. I definitely was not gonna let the opportunity slip. And look, this is the Peace Arch Park. This memorial literally sits on the imaginary line on the border between the Dominion of Canada and the United States of America, literally right there. And man, this was so totally worth it. I would have never thought I would ever see anything like this before. Look, that's the literal border right there. I'm looking at that little marker. And yes, I'm walking in an arch into the other side. It felt really nice being over there. Hashtag manual mode. That's the most I'm going to say about this right now, because this was yet another opportunity I could have used to practice that. But in my defense, I just flat out did not know about this. Okay, now where do I begin with this one? I could say something about manual mode, but I already did. I could say something about I wish I had done this a lot sooner, but I already have. I could encourage y'all to come check this out, but I already have. There was just so much history behind this area, whether it be the bridge, the body of water, the scenery surrounding it, how much of an impact it had with building the communities together, how much it contributed to the tourism. There's just so much I could say about this spot, which is called Deception Pass. That's the name of the body of water. And the bridge, yeah, that's also named after that as well. And there's a whole interesting backstory on why I received this name, Deception. But I never already mentioned that in the previous video, so I'm gonna encourage y'all to take a look in case you wanna know what I'm talking about. This right here is one of my favorite clips of the Pacific Northwest because, to be honest, I was not even aware I was being filmed. I was just in my own little world, enjoying myself in this lovely region. And the way this person is moving the camera, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just look at the environment that I'm walking through. It's paradise for me. So yeah, despite what I'm wearing, yes, it was a little bit nippy there, but it was still paradise for me nonetheless. You can just tell, what am I looking at? I'm looking at the body of water, the sand. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll leave it to your discretion though. Oh man, this is River Meadows Park in Arlington, by the way. This is the main trail that's located there. I've been there a couple of times. First time it was overcast, but when I returned, this is the result. It was totally worth it. I would not mind going back there again to practice manual mode. There, I said it. Cannot help it. And moving on. Now, I don't really know about this music, but I'm just going to dismiss it. Anyways, I'm walking along the Centennial Trail in Snohomish County, and right now I'm taking a pit stop on Lake Cassidy, located in Getchell. I was never aware of this lake, and to be honest, I had mistaken it for Lake Stevens, which is actually much bigger. It's also the name of the little community that's named after that specific lake, but finding a place to park just to blog it was a challenge in itself, regardless if I even have a boat. But Lake Cassidy was not disappointing. It was beautiful, scenic, quiet, the whole nine. This definitely did not disappoint, not one bit. Hoo-wee. Just look at all that. If there wasn't music playing, you'd definitely hear that loud wind blowing. Oh well. Next. Back to Lake 22 here. Before I continue, if there's something about this video that you felt like I should have highlighted or mentioned, or if you have any questions, concerns, gripes, or complaints, let me know in the comment below. And now, back to the video. Alright, so what'd you think? Please like, share, subscribe to stay up to date for more videos. This is TC, the Wandering Historian, encouraging y'all to try new things. Blessings!